something that you receive in order to change your position, change the official position. Somebody gives you money and you reduce his liabilities. Are we together? Yes. Somebody, his car papers, particulars expired. He says, Ogadala, just take this. You collect it, and he goes. For 6 months, he's using expired papers because you have received gratification. This is corruption. Corruption, it can involve cash, it can involve, banknotes, it can involve a lot of things. It's very dirty, it involves fraud. In some countries, even the mafia, they are part of it. So these are the characteristics of corruption. Corruption does not have common characteristics because it differs from country to country, sector to sector, place to place. For instance, it occurs in all countries, regardless of the level of social and economic development. So it's everywhere. Less developed countries, everywhere, there is endemic corruption. Are we together? Corruption most likely will occur in interaction between public and private sectors. Which one is the public sector? Which one is public sector? Government. You are part of the public sector. So corruption is normally between public sector and private sector. The taxpayer is private sector. You are the public sector. Being a critical stakeholder, so corruption takes place between public sector and private sector, between the tax official and the taxpayer. Are we together? So it is generally practiced by public officials who have direct responsibility to deliver service to the public, apply or enforce specific regulations, or levy fees or taxes. So that is where we come in. As public officials, as tax officials, we are expected to collect levies and taxes. But when we compromise our position, then we'll be involved in what? In corrupt practices. So corruption flourishes in different places, in different forms, including customs, immigration, tax income collection, tax officials, non-merit-based appointment. Even appointment when you don't merit it and you go behind and it's given to, it's corruption. Maybe your director loves you, likes you too much. There's a position. There are others that are qualified and say, this is my boy. That's corruption. That's my boy, Interesting. In the case of bribery, there is also collusion between the dishonest official. Collusion between the dishonest official and what? And who? And one or more public or private officials. Both parties. Because it takes two to tangle. There is always the giver and the receiver. And both are going to hellfire. Sorry to say. I don't know where they are going. They can be going to jail, I don't know. But Nganche, Era yana da sata, da dama yana da wani. Are you sure? Ba kai gani ma ba? So corruption, crime, bribe, license, transparency, gratification, when you're given permit, when you're given licenses. So there are a lot of things around corruption. So there are different types of corruption. There is what is called petty corruption. Petty corruption. Small. Eh? Wani kamar wani da yake cewa wannan na miya ne ai kawai. Eh? So na miya ne wannan. 20%. Yeah. No. So 80% to office, 20% to pocket. That is petty corruption. Petty. Not party. Oh, I didn't say party. No. Petty corruption. This spelling is Petty. Don't put us into trouble. This refers to the use of public position for private gains in the course of performing routine public service by frontline elected or appointed officials, including the police, civil servants, custom officers, and tax officials. And others. There are many. You know, the good thing about police is that they can even give you change. You say, well, I about change. You say, no, okay, I will change it. They will get change. Yes. It happens. But this is a dolon police. Dolo, you say dolo. Is an evidence. Person with that, he can lose his job. He can lose his job. Transfer. Yes. With this social media, you can just post it in social media. The next day, the IG or police, they will pick him. Yes. So sometimes it is referred to as routine corruption, normal corruption. Whereby, for instance, import goods and others, about customs or tax officials. See this example. What is happening here? Oh, he can be a custom officer. What of this one? In the office. Unfortunately, look at his name. Look at his name. There is a program that I watch, a documentary. They call it Dirty Boots. Dirty Boots. A lady from Netherlands on riding machine. She's moving from one country to the other. Dirty Boots. She came to Nigeria. Unfortunately, police around Ogun State now stopped her. No, she has camera, everything, GPS on her machine. They say, Madam, where are you from? Yeah, I'm from Netherlands. I'm moving from one country to the other. Say, what have you brought for us? Say, no, I'm a tourist. I say, give us something. She's recording everything. Give us something. Say, like what? Say, money. 3 of them, all have been sacked. They have been sacked. Police. They recorded it. She recorded everything because she's an international citizen moving from one country to the other. Dirty Boots. If you Google it in your phone, you will see it. I watched almost from the beginning because she's going to every country. So you see her experience in every country. Our bad roads, the way our customs are treating her, very interesting. So this is police. Nigerian police, look at it. Bail is free. But it's only when you go to a police station that you know that bail is not free. They say bail is free. Oga, bail is free. The 4,000 naira we are asking for is to cover his feeding and accommodation for one night. In the cell. He's feeding and accommodation for one night. Oh. Eh? He said that is so bed is free, but they are charging for feeding and accommodation. So I don't know.
You see, I started knowing the real corruption in India. As far back as 1995, I went for a program there for 3 months. So when I finished my program, I was coming back to Nigeria. The Indian immigration. So I have some leftover of rupees in my pocket. So they can then the world was not digitalized. So they will take you to your room to sack you. They will be touching your pocket and the man removed my wallet. Just far back in that way. And when he opened the wallet, he saw some few rupees there. He removed it. He said, "You are going to Nigeria, what will you do with it?" They put it in his pocket. Is that corruption? Outright international one. So
it's everywhere.
He mentioned that it's everywhere. In fact, there are some clients at the international level, it's even worse than Nigerian case. I was eager to live India because I was giving the rice was growing to my head. I was eating too much rice.
So this is the situation, So it's everywhere, and for us that watch Indian films in those days, you will see how police corruption in Indian films, because it's a true reflection of the same thing. So look at this one. It's still with police. He said, "You downfall drivers are a stubborn lot. Instead of cooperating with police, you prefer to die." Imagine, you prefer to die because of 20 naira. Yes.
See the stomach.
So he said because of 20 naira. So what he's saying is that if you give 20 naira, you will go. Yes. Go on, since you want to die here. Look at this one. He said, armed robbers, sir, they shoot me in the arm, took all my money and my wife's jewelry. Then the policeman said, they took all your money. Without money, how are we going to conduct the investigation? So no money. Yes. That is why if you go to police station, if you go to police station and they are to take statement, when they are to take your statement, you say money for BoIRS, money for paper. Yes, that's what they do. They will ask you, do you have BoIRS? No BoIRS. Do you have paper? Okay, we'll buy it somewhere. Bring money. So and somebody will bring the paper. What of this one? Thanks for the service. Under the table. They say, around 1992, I think 1992 or 93, I was teaching with Ramat Polytechnic. I think 92 or 93. There's one lecturer. I can't mention his name. So when they bring money, they say, "What I'm doing now, can okay for back on me," and he will pull it and put it. Kamar baya so, they say, "Kai, wannan ba wahala nan ba kyau. Ka dauka sai kuma ya ja sai ya saka." So those ones, we call them petty corruption. There is also a grand petition. That is corruption. Grand corruption. These are the big corruptions involving millions. And interestingly, in Nigeria, we have even graduated. People are talking of billions now. Corruption is not million, is for the small boys. It's billions. Look at it. This occurs when the public policy making process, its design and implementation, plus its agents, appointed, elected, are compromised. They call it state capture. When they have captured the state, state capture. These are big people in government taking advantage of the state, of the federation. Look at this is what senators are doing. When they say budget padding, it's corruption. What they will do is that at the federal level, they will call the chief executive of a parastatal. This is your budget that you brought for consideration. We will add this, add this, add this, add this. When the budget is approved and there is cash, we will come back and collect everything. Or we'll put projects in different places. When it is approved, we'll bring our contractor that will do the project. Pardon. It's grand corruption. Look at, and they will not do the project. They'll just collect the money. Senators, House of Rep members. Sorry, look at it. It usually involves more senior officials and significant amounts of money. Look at this name. 745 houses, estates in Abuja, not in Asokoro. Not in Asokoro. It's in Abuja, but the location is not Asokoro. No, this is just estate. One estate. 745 houses. This is grand corruption. Billions. These are talking of billions with EFCs. Look at this man, Ganduje, the Gandola, caught on tape, on video, collecting dollars as a governor, putting into pockets. Very unfortunate. Nothing happened. And he's the chairman of APC, national chairman. Yes, of APC. And this is the chairman of your party. Yahya Bello, former governor of Ogi State. Grand corruption. There is a school in Abuja where the school fees, it's a secondary school, primary and secondary school. The school fees are paid in dollars. In Abuja, they are paid in dollars. So he paid up to the graduation of the children in that school in dollars. Direct. Grand corruption. Do you know this one? Is it Ahmed Ali or what is his name? Which one? Former Accountant General of the Federation. He's from Kano. And of recent, they gave him traditional title. So this is corruption, grand corruption. It's really unfortunate. So that is what they call brown envelope. Now it's more than brown envelope now. It's no more brown envelope. It's huge transfer. Like, remember when this House of Representative member, Gudaje Kazore from Jigawa, when he was saying it, people are laughing when he was talking. He said, if you hear tin, 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 maybe that one is a small transfer. But transfer from MFLA, you say, boom. Big sound. That's what you say.
I want to
use that for.
There are some scenarios when, especially those of us who work at the federal level, we normally go to companies, to visit the companies, to see how they are operating. We started doing that one since when I was in Northap.
Is it the export expansion grant?
No. We used to go there and check when they apply for technology transfer agreement. So we first of all go to the companies, and when you don't ask them anything, we just go and see it and inspect because they need something from you. So the corruption we notice there is that when they will, after the government has served you with money, when you go there, when you are going, they will package this kind of thing. Yes, and give you.
Yeah.
So I normally in my little way, I don't like this kind of thing because I used to be contented with the little they give me from my organization. As a punishment, they reported me to the organization that when Oga Adamu is heading a team, you will not get anything. Will you believe that they stopped pushing me to go for this kind of investigation? So that's the extent to which our society has reduced itself. Some of them, they used to tell me that this one is not bribe. I say, well, if you didn't go there to do something for them, why should they give them money? As you are sitting in the office, nobody is bringing money to you, isn't it? Until when you go there, so that you write a good report for them to get it, even if they are not qualified. So sometimes for you to be honest, or to try and be in your own corner, if you are not careful, you have to be very, very smart. If you are not careful, in fact, you will suffer in that organization. That's one of the consequences of being incorruptible.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that please try as much as possible to be not a corrupt person. Because it's not only here. The common denominator in our life is death, isn't it? And everybody will face it. And you go back to your creator. So that's it. Thank you.
When we were in the BoIRS, we had Ifeko as our executive chairman. It's a policy that when you are going for audit or when you are going for investigation, before you leave the office, all your entitlements will be given to you. All your entitlements will be given to you so that the taxpayer will not induce you to change the position of the law. So on audit, on investigation, you go and with your entitlements, so you will not allow the taxpayer to book a hotel for you. Because the issue is that if you are going to audit a company and the taxpayer pays your air ticket, the taxpayer book and pay for your accommodation, the taxpayer pays for your feeding. What audit are you going to pay? And you are finished.
Compromise. You will compromise.
You are finished. You are compromised. And when you are going back, you will package something for you again.
You are finished. Then they will drop you.
So that's the challenge. So in FIRS, Ifeko will never allow that. She makes sure that your entitlements are in your account before you leave the FIRS. And then the other thing is, it's a policy that you will not go and lodge in a cockroach hotel. That's what she keeps on saying. She said, we have paid you, we gave you money to go and lodge, seek accommodation in a very good hotel. Some staff went on an assignment in Kano in those days. So they went and lodged in Anguamu. So this pays me, I pays you hotel. So unfortunately, very cheap hotel. And these hotels, many things happen in those hotels.
Yes.
Say, this is very risky. Don't ever try this again. And they are reprimanded. So these are the faces. It's really unfortunate. These are our leaders. Yes, they contested. Yeah, Bello contested. And for the first time in the history of the world, you have a sitting CBN governor contesting for president. It's only in Nigeria. Nowhere, only in Nigeria. And he even went to court that he should not be stopped to contest. So bribery, there are different types of bribery, as we know: kickbacks, secret commissions, facilitation fees, influence peddling. These are all, typology, different types of bribery. When I go out to pray, I see some staff or former staffs under the tree here. What are they doing? So they are what? They are influence peddling because they worked here, they have their former colleagues, some are their junior ones, they will sit down and then they will do the work with them. They are paddling what? Eh? They have German. And once I see them, I know them. When I see them, I know them. And these people, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. So, kickbacks. Look at this. But they say more than 93% of all bribes are paid in cash. All or 93% of bribes are paid in cash because it's very difficult to trace it. If it is through transfer, there is evidence. They will not do transfer.
Sir,
Yeah.
today how serious these guys are. When the chairman gave an order regarding to vehicle insurance, that any insurance company that is operating within these premises, if it's not registered, to vacate. They went and hired a lawyer. They went and hired a lawyer that wrote a letter to the chairman that about 30 insurance companies are operating within these premises. So why would the chairman
drive them out?
That he cannot vacate them. So they have a legal person. Apart from the chairman, they have a legal person that is protecting them.
Is representing them.
Yes.
That's very serious. They are bold enough. This is a public institution. It's a government office. If they are insurance companies, they are private sector. Let them go outside somewhere and rent their shops and offices. But they are not supposed to be here. So this is how corruption can, be bold enough. Another interesting thing: more men are more likely to pay a bribe than women. Is it true? No, these are studies. Studies have shown that men are more likely to give a bribe than females.
Because of the respect when you look at it.
So that is why they are not giving bribe.
They have more responsibility outside there. They are likely to collect bribes
than females. So they cannot give. They can't give.
So this issue of collecting bribes, at times you can't blame someone. For example, let me use a typical example. This is a TIN.
Tin.
At the tin office from JTV, they say tin
It's free.
But when some of the staff, they will tell you they have to pay for TI. So at times they will come from NGOs, they will send their staff to come and obtain TI. Right from the gate, somebody will block them and tell them, you want tea?
Yes.
Bring 2,000. Bring 5,000.
Wow.
And that person that is collecting 5,000 doesn't even have access to the team system.
Yes.
He will collect, bring it to, and then they bring it to me, my office. I'll do it for them free. They will go. And you will collect. So maybe some other time when another person comes and then you can't begin and say, no, it's free, take your money. You know, say, then my colleague told me they collected 10,000.
So just like bail is free, eh? Tin is also free. So it should be free. But unfortunately, tax officials will sit down. You come say no network. You go. Tomorrow you come. No network. No network. No data. All to it's really yes. Because Baba said talked about he said there is internal tout and external tout.
Just like MTN now, when you go to, at this MTN office.
Yeah, I know.
You see,
Metama.
you enter a long queue.
You enter a long queue. So sometimes it's called what? Facilitation fee. Corruption, fraud, exploitation, power, money. It involves money. So bribery in revenue administration, payment to alter or reduce duty or taxation liabilities. It's a form of bribery. Collect something to reduce the liability. Payment to ensure that revenue officers turn a blind eye to illegal activities. For example, customs, immigration, if they are induced, they will just do as if they didn't see anything. The car will pass with everything, even contraband. Payment or kickbacks to ensure that an individual or a firm is successful in obtaining a lucrative tax exemption from normal administrative formalities. Payment to secure or facilitate issuance or processing of licenses and clearances. Payment that you collect behind to facilitate, to fast track. Yeah? Causes of corruption, there are many causes of corruption. A variety of factors contributes to corruption in tax administration. This includes 1, complexity of tax laws and procedures. Our tax laws and procedures are cumbersome, very difficult, time consuming, and people in a hurry don't want to waste time. So what do they do? What will they do? They do something, we do something. Express service. That is the wahala. Shortcut. Good. The monopoly power and degree of discretion of tax officials. When the tax official is given too much discretion, he is the power, he is the law. He can do and undo. When his assessment, he can do BOJ. The taxpayer cannot object because of the fear. Because he also wants to reduce his tax liability. So when you have overbearing tax officials, they will use their position for their advantage, which is corruption. Lack of adequate monitoring and supervision. Mala Ibrahim talked about somebody just collecting lists, names for tin. Is it his responsibility? Is it her responsibility? Why should he do that? Who is monitoring who? There must be proper supervision. Director, there should be proper supervision. Dole sai an sa ido. Dole sai an sa ido. Feedback mechanism. Listen to taxpayers. From time to time, engage taxpayers on the road. Anywhere, engage them and have feedback about your officers. Where do you renew? How much are you paying? That's the guy. I hope you didn't have difficulty in renewing your particulars. No, I know somebody there, very good to me. How much did you pay? She can you will get information.
So if she comes, are you supply us with data? Are you the one who is buying all this? Place it as well.
Okay, even place it. Impress, is it for you? Let me ask you, the impress is for which office? Let me ask you, the impress is for which office?
You know the expenditure.
You didn't answer my question. The impress is for which office? Office of director. Office of director. So, office of director. You know, in the public service, they wait for your turn.
The man is jam.
Already.
Yes, no, he used to go around.
Yes.
And he discovered it as so he used to help people.
Yes. So,
He removed them from extortion, even for admission in university. One woman went, I think I read the test. The daughter has meet up with the point to get to read medicine. They applied one, those who are not up to that point, they listed them. So you say he challenged the vice chancellor, and in some just few hours they gave back.
So our chief executives, our directors should be monitoring, should be supervising. Don't just sit in the office. Go out to the field from time to time. Go to zonal offices. Go to zonal offices. Go and check what they are doing. Sometimes you don't need to go. You assign your staff to go on monitoring and evaluation. They will go and do it for you. Bring reports. Sometimes you also go. You go and announce. Yes. Go and announce and meet them in the field and see what is happening. So lack of adequate monitoring and evaluation leads to corruption. Then, use of manual processes. When there is a regular contact between the tax man and then the taxpayer, manual, it also breeds corruption, temptation, like he said. Especially when in places where even the taxes and levies are collected in cash. In cash. So you collect cash and keep. Collect cash and keep. Before you take to bank, you look at it again small. Anything can happen. So tempting. So that is why automation, once it reduces. It doesn't eliminate completely.
Almost 80% of our activities are automated.
It's automated.
Almost 80%.
That's good. That's good. But those people sitting under the tree, that 20%, work on them.
That's what I mean. The towns, the motorists, and the
Look at this one. The commitment of political leadership. The commitment of the leadership in the organization. If the leadership is firm, is transparent, is accountable, then the other officials will follow suit.
like example you gave of that airport when you went and stopped
Yeah, so it all depends on leadership.
leadership.
Leadership is very important. If you have good leadership, transparent, accountable, that will carry everybody along, then you will see professionalism. You get the point? But in a situation where the leadership is also corrupt, then the entire system will be corrupt. Because they said that the fish gets rotten. It starts from the head. In kifi zai ɓaci daga kai yake fara. So if your leadership is bad, don't expect good result from those, behind. We are told of a story where I think they say every Friday when they are about closing, the boss will call the accountant. He said, write this check for the weekend for me. So every weekend, the accountant will write the check so that your Oga will do good weekend. So there was a time when he came, he gave him the check, he signed, then he brought another one. Seran Kadede, this small one is for the boy to do good one. For the boy for also have a good weekend. Yes, he also signed it now. He has to sign it because he knows everything that is happening. So every
One video somebody used his boyfriend. We are entering weekend. Friday in the night,
so the overall environment in the public sector can also determine the level of, can also contribute to corruption. Causes of corruption: poverty, greed. Greed can lead to corruption. Greed, very dangerous. Excessive love for money. Lack of education, lack of professionalism, and others. Impact of corruption, we all know the impact of corruption. It destroys society, it destroys community, it destroys reputation. It destroys reputation. Duk wanda ya baka ka karba. Duk wanda ya baka bribe ka karba. Ba zai sake ganin ka da mutunci ba. Naka ya kare. Ba confidence akan. Wani ne, ba wani ne. Kuma duk wanda ya baka ka karba, wallahi zai je fada. Kuma kun yi tare, shi ya baka ka karba. Yes, ko ina ya je zai ce wani shi na shi ma fa ba abun baya raina karami, baya raina ba. In ya baka kadan ma zai je ce ya baka diyawa ne. Wallahi, shi ne problem ɗin. Reputation risks. Impact of corruption, it will affect quality of governance, affects growth, affects everything. Well, yes, anytime. Sorry. So how do we combat corruption? How do we prevent corruption? One, rationalize the design of tax laws. Let's make the tax laws very easy to understand. Let taxpayers know their rights. When there is a right, they should reporting naka. Totally. Designate corruption a national crime. Make corruption a crime. Kowa ya sani. A China. Reduce monopoly power. Look at this example. Look at this. He's talking about China. China charged former top corruption inspector with taking $71 million in bribes. This one, surely that's Yanka Kachi. That's Kachi. In China, that's what they do. FIFA bans Brazilian official Ricardo Teresa over corruption. FIFA. So make civil servants accountable and salary competitive. Motivation. Make their salary good and competitive. It will reduce corruption. Sedima is not realistic. So restructure tax administration agencies. You restructure it, reform. Severely punish corrupt officials. Severely punish them. Use information technology to combat corruption. Establish code of ethics. He made a presentation on ethics, code of ethics. Dole I established. This is what awaits anybody that is involved in corruption. Even in this your organization, there were people that were taken to jail sometimes back. Don't call name. I know them. I'm from this place. I know. This is chief. This man was dismissed as Chief Justice of Ukraine after a majority of the court judges voted to strip him of his position because of corruption. So corruption is everywhere, even in judiciary. Chief Justice, huh? Magistrates court. What is our magistrates court doing here? So provide tax officials with ethics training on ethics. Inform taxpayers of their rights. Let taxpayers know their rights. So this is conclusion. Corruption and tax crime remains key obstacles to sustainable economic, political, and social development, particularly in developing and emerging countries. Any country, duk kasan da corruption ya shige su, ba za su samu ci gaba ba. Otherwise, what is happening in Nigeria? We have all the resources. Mutum ɗaya zai saci billions, kuma ba zai kai. You know, akwai wanda aka je aka same shi. Gida aka je aka bude kudi haka kamar abin nan. An yi stocking ko ta ina a Kaduna. Former NNPC GM. Ya mutu. Yakubu. Akwai wanda suna sa kudi a sock away. Sudan. Because they cannot even take the money to bank. In an kai banki ma is a problem. So this is about corruption. The essence of this discussion is to make us aware that we have a responsibility as tax officials. Let us be very careful with what we do as tax officials. Mutum bai hankali ba, zai bata sunan shi, zai bata sunan family shi, zai bata sunan al'umman shi baki daya. Kuma ya mutu shi da Allah.
If you can't beat them, try to reduce it.
But don't join them. Thank you.
So once again, let's join